दोस्तों, थॉमस एडिसन द फेमस साइंटिस्ट, उनका एक फेमस कोट है, अ ग्रेटेस्ट वीकनेस लाइज इन गिविंग अप, द मोस्ट सर्टन वे टू सक्सीड इज ऑलवेज टू ट्राई जस्ट वन मोर टाइम. And I know just someone like that who I have got today with me as my guest in my show, which is called Success Stories with Sagar. इस प्रोग्राम में मैं आपकी मुलाकात कुछ ऐसी हस्तियों से कराऊंगा जो इंडिया से यहाँ ऑस्ट्रेलिया एक बेहतर जिंदगी का सपना लेके आए थे और अपने सपने को साकार किया और सिग्निफिकेंट रूप से साकार किया. तो ऐसी सिग्निफिकेंट सक्सेस स्टोरीज तो शेयर करनी बनती हैं. हमारे साथ हैं मिस्टर राजन राजन, who runs multiple businesses. One of them is in education sector, and it was listed in Australian Financial Review, the list of fastest growing companies in Australia in 2022. He also have an offshoring business in Philippines with over 220 employees. He was featured in Forbes last year, and last but not the least, he is also a TEDx speaker. लेकिन उनका real passion is to travel with his two kids and wife. Welcome to the show, Rajan.
Thank you, Sagar. Thanks for having me.
Great. How are you doing today? Saturday
Good.
चल रहा है. What's the plan?
बस चल रहा है यार, having my kids' birthday parties, things like that. So weekends are normally the kids with the kids, you know. So yeah.
Nice. You got two kids. How old are they?
So I have Esther, who is 6, and Max, who is 8.
That's great.
Yeah, and we live in the Gold Coast, obviously.
Oh, you live in the Gold Coast, huh? The Sunshine Coast.
Exactly.
As they say in
Yeah,
Australia, living the dream.
Why not?
That's great, Rajan. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about your journey. But before that, how does it feel knowing that your business is listed in the Australian Financial Review, and it's been listed in Forbes as well? I mean, being out there, making a mark, influencing others. Would you say you were right?
Definitely not. So we still have a long way to go. But yeah, something which we never, the thing, whatever business we are doing, it's actually we are passionate about it. So we yes, we genuinely want to help people and customers, our employees. Yeah, I know it sounds not business-like to help people, but that's, when you're doing something with passion, all these things come, on the side. So we were not expecting us to be in the Fast 100. It just happened. So yeah.
So you started with a very humble beginning, and then things have started to roll up, and it just grew because you had the right objective in your mind, a clear, a sincere objective in your mind.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, I believe that if in the business, if you have the long-term thinking of genuinely looking after the customer and fulfilling their needs, money will automatically come. I think a lot of businesses run behind just making money.
Yeah.
I think that is the wrong approach. But if you put the other way around, you focus on the customer, what they need, how we can genuinely fulfill their needs.
Yeah.
Then the money will run behind you, rather than you running behind the money. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably what we do. We even teach that to our employees and everything as well when they start. So yeah, so that's our core value, actually.
That's good. That's great. Now, Rajan, I've known you for a while. I mean, since your college days, and you had a regular job and you had a normal lifestyle. तो क्या हुआ ऐसा एकदम से? What motivated you to step into the business? I mean, was it some objective? कोई उसके पीछे एक reason था, something that drove you, या फिर कोई negative influence where you hated what you did in your job that made you in the business?
That's a good question. So yeah, I was actually I was employed for a long time, and then, to be honest with you, somebody introduced me to a networking business. Okay. And
you mean multi-level marketing business?
Multi-level marketing business. Okay. And that was almost 20 years ago, actually, 15, 20 years ago.
Okay.
And that's where actually my mind started changing. I listened to a lot of audio materials. I went to events and things like that. And that's where I actually started eventually changing my mindset.
Mm.
And I think probably that's where I started. And I never ended up building the multi-level business, but I got the idea from there and I started building other businesses.
So you got the education from there, and that helped you in transiting into the business.
100%. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Yeah.
How long you been in Australia? If I'm not wrong, 20 years or
I
close to
came in 99.
99.
Yes.
Oh,
So end of 99. So just before the Sydney Olympics.
right.
So I was here. I was lucky to be part of the Olympics. And by the way, Olympics in Brisbane coming up as well. So
Yeah,
I think
2030, is it? Yeah,
I'll be lucky enough to be part of two Olympics,
two Olympics. Yeah.
living in the same city,
Oh,
on the city.
that's great. That's great. So, so that's when. So, how long has it been in the business world? In transitioning from the job now. How
Yeah.
long
So
did it take?
probably
Basically,
around.
what I'm trying to ask you is, how long did it take for you to where you are right now, way from where you
Okay.
started in a business?
So look, basically, my background is sales and marketing. So when I was working in a company, it was an education-based company.
Hmm.
So to actually transition from to being employed to business, what I did was rather than I went to my employer because I was bringing in a lot of sales myself.
Right.
So I went to my employer and said one day I said that I don't want any salary. Why don't you give me more commission for the sale? So that's honestly that's how I started, and I worked more harder
Hmm.
so I can get more sales, but I got a much higher. So it almost become like rather than salary, it was more like a profit share model, right?
Okay.
So I think that it took a little bit of courage to do that because we rely on the salary so
Right.
much, and we are always thinking about how am I going to pay the rent, how am I going to pay the school fees, whatever.
Hmm.
But anyway, I didn't have kids that time, but still, there was a lot of worry in my mind.
Hmm.
But it actually was a good worry because it made me work harder, right?
What was the
Uh,
worry? What did you want? Why did you do that?
Worry, like when we stopped the salary, right? I had to stop my salary and I was relying purely on the commissions.
Okay.
Uh, so, but I was getting higher commission, but no monthly salary. So there could also be scenarios where I don't make any money if
Hmm.
I don't bring sales,
Hmm.
right? But it was a good thing because it made me work harder, and actually, because the percentage of commissions was much higher,
Hmm.
I actually ended up making more money than my salary, right? And that's how it basically started. And then I registered my own business and started doing that. Hope that makes sense. Yeah.
Right. No, absolutely. So basically, it's just a leap of faith that you took, and the risk that you took, a calculated though one, and
Yeah.
you said let's jump into to getting high commissions and bringing more sales.
Yeah.
And is
But
that where
the
you?
good thing is the
Hmm.
risk I took because of the fear of,
Hmm.
okay, what's going to happen?
Hmm.
I worked double the time.
Yeah.
I had to, and all of a sudden, because of the fear of not having the money,
Yeah.
I made more money because sometimes the fear is a good thing, like sometimes, that uncertainty.
Hmm.
And I feel most people are worried about the uncertainty, like
Hmm.
what's going to happen.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, what if the money doesn't come? So there's a lot of uncertainty in their mind, and that's what's going to stop them from an amazing life.
True.
Okay. So sometimes a good life
Hmm.
is stopping us from having an amazing life because people don't want to be uncertain about
Hmm.
things.
Hmm.
And now I'm in a stage where I embrace uncertainty. I love uncertainty.
Hmm.
Okay, because that's the risk which will take me to the next level. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I guess you are at the level where you can take those risks, because
Yeah.
most of the people, they we want that kind of a security, a security blanket, which we have it. So I guess you are at the stage where you're fine to take those risks. Am I right in saying that?
Actually no, because I'm in a stage where now it's harder to take risk.
Hmm.
Okay. The reason for that is because right now, before I was only worried about my salary.
Yeah.
Now I have almost 220 employees. Okay.
Yeah.
My monthly, wages
Yeah.
is probably 200K monthly wages. So right now, if I take risk, it's even more risky because not only me is going to suffer, hundreds of families are going to suffer as well. Okay. So risk factor never goes down. It actually goes higher as your business grows or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
But the thing is, just got to embrace it.
That's great. That's great. आप कहते हैं रजन एक कहावत है या फिर किसी ने कहा है कि एक बड़े से बड़ा बिजनेस एक छोटे से छोटे आइडिया से शुरू होता है. And I guess your idea was when you were working as a sales and sales and marketing in that job. So how did you manifest that into your business? What I guess what I'm trying to ask is what made you jump into the business rather than still working for someone and bringing in the sales and getting the commission? What was the motivation behind it and how did you manifest it?
That's a good question. Yeah, honestly, I was reading a lot of books. Sorry, I'm not speaking Hindi, Sagar, because I'm a South Indian guy. So I'm not the best in Hindi, but I understand it.
No, that's fine.
Not because I don't want to speak. So yeah, for me, I was reading a lot of books, a lot of personal development, materials, like even on books, YouTube, everywhere.
Yeah.
So most of them were talking about being in business and things like that. So I was thinking about that. It doesn't happen overnight, right? I was thinking about it a long period of time, like maybe almost 2 to 3 years. I can't remember what exactly happened. Again, this is almost 16 years ago since I moved from employee to business now.
Yeah.
I don't know what was the final trigger, but but it was a build up. It was not a quick decision. Make sense?
Right.
Yeah. One day I just said, that's it. I had enough and maybe I have to take the plunge. Sometimes most people are not
ready to take the plunge.
Yeah.
And that alludes to next question that I was going to ask. What do you think is the biggest showstopper for anyone who transit into a business and was being accustomed or maybe who has been seasoned as who has seen his family, a background where his father or forefathers have worked in a regular job. So what is the biggest stopper or fear or challenge that people face transitioning into a business?
Yeah, it's a good question. So if you look at even my family, nobody had ever had a business in my family as well. My dad was an engineer. My mom was a teacher. All my uncles and everybody, cousins, everybody is either a doctor, engineer, or a teacher. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a role model. So normally if somebody asks me this question, I normally said, don't just jump into business straight away. Trust me, there is especially now with internet and everything, there is so many different ways to make money, right? So let's say you finish work at 5 o'clock and you have time from 5 to, yeah, of course you have family and everything, but there is still, if you look at, there is still time where you can build up some part-time revenue or part-time income. Slowly, there's YouTube channel, whatever. There's hundreds of opportunity. YouTube channel, Amazon, selling on Amazon. There's hundreds of different ways, right? So, but most people, they just stick with their job. So what I normally say is like, why don't we just do something on the side and start generating revenue? So even if it takes 6 to 12 months to start generating, and eventually that side revenue will be equal to your salary.
Yeah.
Then you have more confidence to jump into a serious business, right?
Right.
But the thing is, why don't you just slowly start replacing your job income with other means? And that's probably that. And again, that's what I did as well, right? So, yeah.
So what would you suggest, Rajan, for someone who is stepping into a business to be successful like you are right now?
Yeah. man, first thing is it doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
I almost went through a bankruptcy maybe around 8 years ago. So again, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of ups and downs. But yeah, that's life, right?
Yeah.
It took me 16 years, but the thing is, you got to start now.
Yeah.
So next 5 or 10 years, like for example, for me, it's all about what it's going to be in December 2027.
Yeah.
I know very clearly where my life is going to be.
Mhm.
But if I don't start now, it
Yeah.
won't happen in
True.
5 years time.
True. True.
Yeah.
So did you find any mentor? I mean, what's your say about mentorship in running a business? Do you think it's important to find a mentor, a right person, and follow his footsteps or her footsteps to get there where you want to be?
Big time. So this is the biggest one for me.
Mhm.
Most people don't, I don't know why, but most people don't ask for ideas, and they don't try to sit with other people and talk about their journey and things like that. For
Yeah.
us, for me, it's all about, I have like at least 3 to 4 different mentors in different areas.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I have no ego, you know.
Oh, that's a big
Yeah, I
thing.
have ego, but things like this, like
Yeah.
when I go to a person, I never think that I know everything. If I think I know everything, I'm an idiot. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will stop growing, stop learning. It's all finished.
Sure.
So when I go to a mentor, I say, man, it doesn't matter how much my business has grown or something. When I go to him, I tell him, I don't know this. Can you please help me? Okay. Because I have one mentor for leadership, one mentor for sales and marketing, one for finance. So there are different people with different skill sets.
Right.
So why don't we learn from them who's already done it?
Correct. Correct.
But again, some challenge is that there's a lot of ego and we don't want to sit down and ask questions. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's good.
that's what's yeah.
That's really good. So how do you I mean, there's a preconceived notion, Rajan, I believe, where when people start business, most of their time is eaten up in their business. So how do you manage your family life with businesses? How much time are you able to give to your family?
Wow, amazing question. So I've learned a lot along the way, again, from different mentors and everything. So I work from only 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I try to do everything I can, but in those, let's say 8 hours, it's 100% focus.
So discipline.
Right?
Discipline.
Yeah. So I'm not on Facebook or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Because otherwise what's going to happen is it will cut into my family time, which is
True.
from 6 to maximum 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
It's family time. Weekends I don't work. So yeah, so it's about that focus, I guess.
Wow. Amazing. So tell me something about how did your business end up in AFR, and how did you end up in TEDx as well? So what do you do now? I mean, you influence. I know you are a big influencer out there. How did you get approached?
AFR actually actually our accountant mentioned to us because if accountant was actually they have a lot of connections, right? So
Yeah.
they said, I think one day we were having a meeting with him and he's the one who said to us, maybe your business is ready for AFR listing.
Okay.
So basically we asked him, what is that? We didn't even know what is it. So he gave us all the roadmap.
Yeah.
So then we applied for it.
Yeah.
And we actually forgot about it. And then we got a call one day to congratulate us. So I think that's what happened. So we were on the, I think, number 67 or something like that on the Fast 100 list.
Wow. Wow. I want to talk about the TEDx and how do you influence people, and what do you teach them and those sort of things. So how did you end up in TEDx? Were you approached?
Yeah. With TEDx, by the way, it was actually told by one of my mentor, Peter Cox. I think you know him as well.
Yeah, I've heard about it. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So Peter Cox is actually a leadership expert. So he's the one who encouraged me to do it. And to be honest with you, the main reason, I know it's crazy to believe, to know this, but the main reason I did TEDx is to have more influence.
Right.
As a TEDx speaker. So we can attract as a company, we can attract more better talent.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
So if they like, when you try to attract good talent, they need to know that they're working for a big company, leaders with influence. And believe it or not, that was the number one reason. And since then, it's really helped us as well. Uh, yeah, to market our company for better people to work, to attract better talent.
But did you end up actually influencing anyone? And someone, they wanting to get into the business as well, like you?
I think more than anything else, it was like what I didn't imagine was that a lot of my friends from like my school from India, because I grew up in India, right? So all my school friends, my college friends, I think those people were more influenced, I think, because I got a lot of messages from them, and they mentioned to me that it motivated them and things like that. So, which I didn't expect, right? Because I was just expecting it to do more for the work or business. But, yeah.
That's amazing to know. When your friends who never thought about it, never expected, and then they see other side of it, your other side, that really impresses, and plus obviously it makes you happy as well at the same time.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm sure, Rajan, business में उतार चढ़ाव आते रहते हैं, so there are ups and downs in the business. So how do you, when you have difficult times, how do you manage your mindset? Because managing the mindset is the most difficult part, I think, any individual will face. Having a clarity, having the right attitude, having a clear mindset is something very, it works in any part of the life. So how do you manage your mindset when you face difficulty in your business?
Yeah, so it's a very, very good, important question, actually, if you want to be in business, right?
Yeah.
And even if you listen to my TED Talks, it's all about fear, worry, and how to handle the fear of uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
So the best example I can say, I think I mentioned before, like almost 8 years ago, we had a business which was heavily reliant on government funding, the Australian government funding, and we built up everything based on the funding, right? And guess what? Like we had a really good run for almost 3 years, and the complete funding stopped overnight. Okay, the government just came up with a letter to all the people who had the funding and said that, sorry, we have 130 days.
And this is an education business that you're talking about?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So we had almost at the time almost 27 staff, a lot of expenses, building, everything. So you can just imagine overnight, and the uncertainty, the fear, everything which we had to go through, right? But again, and as I said, we almost went bankrupt because of that. But it's about, that's the part of the business, right? It's about, but at the same time, it's about embracing uncertainty, because uncertainty is part of life. There is, even if you're in business or not in business, there's always uncertainty.
Correct.
Okay. And more, I feel like humans, including me, obviously, we are all looking for certainty. Like we want to know when is the money coming, make sure the kids are growing up properly. We are looking for certainty. And even if there is a small shift in certainty, we panic.
Correct.
Okay.
True.
But it's about learning how to embrace uncertainty, and you won't believe it, when those kind of things happen, I go to back to my Indian origin. Okay. I go to yogic books, meditation.
Right.
That's when I go back to India. Right.
So
I go back
you unwind yourself, and you go back to the basics and roots where you always got your teachings.
Yeah. And what I normally do is, if you look at the yogic teachings, right? Even these days, the gurus and everybody, even Sadhguru people, if you listen to them, what they're saying is, when there is uncertainty, we start thinking about too many things which can go wrong.
Yeah.
And what they say is, bring it down to this very moment. Right now, how are you feeling? I'm fine. Yes. Maybe tomorrow there's coming, but right now, let's be okay. Right. But most of the time, the things we fear about, all the things and this is all normally, which is not going to happen. This is like just something which is happening in our own mind.
Yeah.
Normally it doesn't happen. So yeah, again, those kind of things, how to control your emotions. It's a learning process. It doesn't happen overnight.
No, you just said very interesting thing, Rajan. Got to learn. People need to learn how to control our emotions. Do you practice something, or do you practice reading, maybe, for example, that helps you in controlling your emotions and clearing your mindset?
Yeah, it's mainly a lot of reading.
A lot of reading.
And listening to audio materials. Yeah. I think personal development, I know people normally don't do much, but for me, personal development is a big thing. I listen to at least 1 hour of, if I'm in my car when I'm driving somewhere, I don't normally listen to music. I listen to some kind of, a successful business owner talking about how he built the business or what challenges. So I'm always listening to things like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of mindsetting, right? Having the right mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. So, not talking about the challenges, you just mentioned challenges. What was your biggest challenge, or what do you think is the most common challenge that people face in starting or pursuing a business, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is again the fear of money and what's going to happen, things like that. So there's a lot of fear attached to a lot of things.
Yeah.
But again, a country like Australia, we are talking to country like Australia. I don't think we need to fear that much. It's a great country, the worst case scenario, you get government pension.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess you mentioned in a previous question about the certainty and uncertainty. People want to be certain in their life. They live, most of 99% of the people, we live from pay cycle to pay cycle.
True.
So yeah, I guess that is, and you said it right. Fear is the biggest factor in starting anything that they want, or a business they want to do.
And honestly, as I said before, if that's the fear, then why not start something on the side?
On the side, yeah, true.
I think that's probably the best way to get up and running. You don't have to stop everything and start. Put all the risk into something.
Correct.
Why not start something on the side and slowly build it?
Yeah. And I think that's what you did. I mean, you slowly started something on the side, and then you built it to the point that you thought now it can fund your lifestyle, plus
correct,
hone your passion as well, and take it further. That's really great. That's really great. So, and what strategy helps you to perform at your best, Rajan, if I may ask?
That's a very good question.
Is it going to fishing or?
It's actually, I do have a plan for the next. I learned from my mentors. I have a plan. I know where exactly what I'm going to be in 2027, which is actually 5 years from now. And that keeps me. I remind myself every day, like where I'm going to be at that time. So that keeps me accountable. Right. And I have other people, like other mentors, who keep me accountable as well. Like they remind me about so I don't get distracted too much, But at the same time, we have a lot of fun. I want to do a lot of stuff with my family, catch up with my friends, everything.
Yeah.
But work time, I'm very focused, I guess.
Yeah. And you focus on, I guess, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I've read in many books that goal-oriented, if you have a goal in your mind, probably that helps you to keep focus in one place and moving forward, and you don't get distracted. Is that something you would agree?
100%. And you have to be excited about that goal, first of all.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the second thing is you have to remind yourself every day, because some people, even I used to do this. I used to set goal, and first 2, 3 months I'm excited. Okay. And by fourth, fifth month,
It just phases away.
maybe I forget about them.
Yeah.
So the thing is setting the goal and then reminding every day. Yeah. About that goal, like, waking up in the morning and thinking about it, something like that. So it keep you accountable.
Yeah. I guess most of us, we do the same mistake. We start something and then we stop. We are in a phase of continuously start and stop. We're not in a start switch on mode. So like switch on, switch off, switch on, switch off, and things after a while it just fades away. We just forget about it. So that is something which needs to focus on.
Yeah, that is true. I think that happens even with me sometimes, is because that thing which we want, let's say we want that in 2 or 3 years time.
Yeah,
that has to be really exciting, first of all, in our own mind. It has to be like, wow, I really can see that happen. And second thing is to keep ourselves accountable every day, of reminding of that where we want to be in 3 years. I think this is where most of us miss out, is that even if we find something really exciting, we forget along the way. Life comes in, right? There's all of things happening, kids challenges, other challenges, and we forget about this thing in 3 years time. Right? So reminding ourselves every day about that. And the second thing is spending, even if it is 1 hour a day, it doesn't matter, half an hour or 1 hour a day, doing something towards that. Okay. So you put aside 1 hour,
little by little.
This 1 hour, this 1 hour I've dedicated to what I'm going to be in. So for example, if somebody starts a small, a lot of people have for example, Amazon business. Let's give a simple example, right? So I want to make, let's say, $5,000 a month from Amazon in 2 years' time. Just a simple example. Okay. Wow, that would be amazing if I can make 5,000. It'll at least pay my rent, whatever. Okay. They do it for 2, 3, 4 weeks. Okay. And the 5th week, they stop it. Why? Because we haven't allocated, even if it's 1 hour, 1 hour of going on Amazon and researching what other people are doing, what is a good product to put on there. It only takes 1 hour. But until we allocate that 1 hour, so that's where the discipline comes in, right?
Consistency and discipline, yeah.
And yeah, I think that's the key for me.
Wow, that's amazing. It always amazes me, and I've seen you personally, but I would really ask this question for my listeners and my viewers. How has your life changed from where you were to where you are now? What has transformed in a better way? Obviously, things have gone to a better way, but how's your life changed?
Yeah. See, I can talk a lot about, okay, I'm not talking about the material wealth, because we can talk about
that's a byproduct, which is already which is
a byproduct anyway, right? Car, house, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But for me, the biggest thing.
Not saying that. Sorry, I'm cutting in between. Not saying that you're a mortgage-free man and you got a couple of fancy cars which you wanted and always dream of.
No, that will keep coming, obviously. But for me, most exciting is that I feel like I'm excited about what we are doing. You see, sometimes that excitement is where the real happiness comes from at least for me, right? I wake up in the morning and I'm excited that this is what we are trying to achieve. Okay. Before, like maybe 10 years ago, I used to wake up, especially Sunday evening. Okay, so अरे यार मेरे को काम पे जाना है कल, right? I was like, oh my God, Monday morning is coming. But for me, right now, our goal and what we want to achieve is so exciting that I wake up and a Sunday evening, I can't wait to be Monday.
True.
So for me, that is more transpired my life than material wealth or anything else.
Very good. And how has it changed? Or maybe rather, I would ask, what is the feedback of your peers or people around you who had been around you or who are around you now, and who have seen your previous journey when you were in a job, now to your place, a successful place you are right now? What do they think?
See, for me, it's like, there is a very powerful saying which says that you are a role model, you have no choice.
True.
Okay.
True.
So, in other words, I know there's a lot of people watching me,
Mm.
and I'm sure with you, Sagar, there's a lot of people watching you, all of us. Like there are people watching. Yeah. For example, our kids, our family, our brother, our sister, our cousins.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are a lot of people watching us, and we are a role model. We have no choice.
True, true, true.
I truly believe in this. Okay. And the other thing is, our kids are not listening to us; they are watching us.
Yeah.
They don't listen. Doesn't matter what I tell my son. Okay, I tell him to do the. He's never going to listen to me, man.
No.
But I know he's watching me. Okay, and this really fires me up. Okay, my brother is watching me, my sister is watching me, my cousins are watching me. Okay, and what kind of role model am I going to be? And this is what drives me every day, because I know eventually I'm going to lift up a whole bunch of other people with me, right? Because of the life I live. I know that's a bit deep, but it's a powerful thought when you know that there's a lot of people watching you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And they learn from you. They they get inspired by you, and that makes you feel happy. I mean, we all of us we can make money. I mean, most of us, I think, maybe there may people who would be making more money than you, but they might not be in a happier place as compared to where you are right now, which is called success.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, I know it's happy, but again, there's a lot of ups and downs. There's challenges. It's not like doesn't mean that my life is like amazing. It's like a lot of challenges all the time.
Yeah.
But at least I'm excited about where we are heading.
You're excited about tomorrow now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Amazing.
That's true.
I'm getting inspired now. Well, it's a deep-rooted conversation, but I think let's I've covered everything that I wanted to ask you, Rajan. Is there anything that you think you would like to tell the youth or the new migrant population who's coming over here and who come here with a dream, a spark in their eyes to do something, to become something? What message would you like to give?
Wow, that's a good question. It's a look. I don't think I'm, like someone who can give them like suggestion. But me and my business partner. My business partner is also Indian. He's from Bangalore.
Yeah.
His name is Darshan, and we have a saying with each other. Okay, this is a really funny one. So when the business is slowing down or something is not really happening, we say to each other that, come on, man, we can't slow down. We are immigrants. Okay? So, for example, I hope no Aussies are listening to this one, but anyway, you know how the community generally they 3 o'clock they are at the pub having a beer, right?
True.
So we should never forget that we are immigrants. That we should, even if we are I'm in this country now for 23 years. Okay. So I want to keep that immigrant mindset. I don't want to lose that immigrant mindset, because as soon as we think we are an Aussie, we'll be at the pub at 3 p.m.
True.
On a Friday at 12 p.m. Okay. So we don't want to lose that immigrant mindset, and that's the suggestion. But again, in saying that, I'm just so amazed by how unbelievable Indians are growing in this country. You look everywhere. If you look at Melbourne and Sydney, wow. And when you go there, like, because Indians are like, first of all, we are educated. We are extremely hardworking, extremely ambitious. So I think Indians are going to smash it, man. Like in the next 8 to 10 years, I think it's like I was reading an article the other day. In the US, Indians are the highest tax-paying community in the entire America, US. Like I was like, and I think even Australia is going to be there very soon.
Very soon. Yeah.
Maybe they're already there. I'm not sure, but very soon Australia is going to be also. It's so amazing to see that. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wonderful. Wow. Now, before I let you go, Rajan, let's do a rapid fire round.
Wow. Okay.
59 seconds. Only 59 seconds. All right.
Let's do it. Yeah.
A hidden talent that many of you, many around you, they don't know. A hidden
Sorry.
talent. A talent.
Hidden talent.
Yeah.
Didn't know it. I love cooking. So I do a lot of, everybody, my friends come over. I just love cooking Indian food,
Okay.
especially South Indian. I'm from Kerala, obviously, as you know. So I'll cook a lot of Mallu food, and that's my passion, man.
Okay. All right. And what do you do for fun?
Yeah, I love fishing.
You love fishing.
Okay, that's probably the only Aussie thing I have picked up. So even my son is catching on now. So we both go fishing normally every Friday evening.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have all the gears and everything. So I think that's the fun thing we do.
Wonderful. Last question. What is the craziest thing you've done? I know you've done a lot.
Craziest thing. Uh, I think we were in. I know it's crazy. Like not much crazy, but we were in Fiji,
Yeah.
and we on the last day of the trip, the flight is ready to go in another. We woke up on the last day and said, you know what? I love this place. Let's stay, stuff it. Let's play for another week. I know it's not a, but again, it's most people.
Yeah.
I would not have done that 10 years ago because I didn't have that mindset. If you want to do something, just do it.
Just do
Something
it.
like that.
Just do it. That's
So
great.
we just canceled the fights and rebooked for another week.
Amazing. It's like a Dil Chahta Hai moment. You watch Bollywood movies?
Exactly. Of course, man. Yeah, yeah,
Which is
yeah.
which
I
is the
do.
last one you watched?
Great question.
I think you mentioned to me Rajnikant movie. I can't recall that.
Yes, Jailer, not Jailer.
Taylor. That's right.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and Jawan as well. Did you watch Jawan?
Yes, yes, I do. But Rajinikanth is my all-time favorite, obviously. I just
Saiba.
just love his energy as well. He's
Is.
an awesome guy.
Yes, amazing, amazing. Well, it was great talking to you, Rajan. Wonderful. Actually, it's very inspiring at the moment for me, and I'm sure it will be very inspiring for the viewers as well. So, thank you so very much for being a part of our program, which is called Success Stories with Sagar. And I look forward to talking to you and yeah, catching up once again.
Amazing, Sagar. I have to say that you're bringing a lot of joy and excitement to. I don't know if you know it, but directly or indirectly, when people listen to you, and especially programs like this,
Yeah,
you're changing people's life. I know it's a big statement, but
that's a very,
maybe
very
you
good
don't
statement.
realize it. But when people listen to this kind of stuff, and there's so much negativity in the world. Every time you put the news on, it's all bad news,
Yeah,
right?
true,
How
true,
many people died over here? What's happening over here? There's war.
true.
But things like this is what people need these days, and I think you are filling the gap for that. So I really appreciate what you're doing
Thank
in
you.
this one.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rajan. Once again, we'll talk soon.
no worries, man. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, Sagar.
Bye.
Bye.